What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Halftime Snacks podcast. This show features short interviews that you can listen during the halftime of your favorite sports events. Every Tuesday, I host fun conversations with talented people in the sports industry where we'll learn from their stories, knowledge, and experiences. So go grab your favorite snack and come snack with us. Are you ready? Let's go! Joining us today all the way from Lithuania is a guest who's here to change the fitness industry through technology. He has wide experiences in technology, including software engineering and artificial intelligence, while he's also led different teams and co-founded a very popular platform on Lithuania called FitpassU, which is a very interesting social fitness app. Today, he's focusing his energies on his latest venture, FittyAI, where he is the co-founder and CEO. FittyAI provides a virtual trainer that gives real-time feedback to the user on his training, which fitness platforms can integrate into multiple online fitness platforms. My pleasure to introduce to the show, Darius Butkevičius. Did I pronounce that right, Darius?
Yes.
Man, it's a hard name, but man, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. How are you, Darius?
It's great. It's actually great to be on this show. Thanks for inviting me. And let's go. Actually.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, man. The way I start episodes, that I quickly ask an icebreaker, to get you to speak and see, how are you thinking today. So my icebreaker for you, Darius, is that I want to ask you, what is your favorite city in the world?
I actually want to be pretty boring here and want to advertise my home city, Vilnius. Basically, everyone who plans to visit a new city, choose Vilnius. You won't regret. Vilnius actually has the prettiest and the oldest old town, and you can just get absolutely lost there.
You're doing a good job for your city and your culture. I respect that and I appreciate that. Everyone should visit Vilnius. Darius, man, how about you tell us a little bit about you? What are some of the highlights of your career? What are things that I didn't mention about you that we need to know about you? Maybe you want to share with us what drives you, what makes you special, what makes you unique. Just share with us a couple of ideas of who you are and tell us more about you.
So actually I'm involved in technology already for 8+ years. Started first with just general software development. Then I shifted more towards artificial intelligence and led actually a couple of teams with some projects focusing on artificial intelligence. And as well, from the very early stage, I was very interested in sports as well. So, I have actually third Q in karate. So practiced karate for 10 years, practiced swimming professionally for 10 years as well. So probably those two things are now merged with my past ventures and also current ventures with FitpassU and FittyAI. Basically, I'm using there all of my passion in sports, fitness, and in technology, artificial intelligence, software development.
And when exactly did you develop a passion maybe for business, like the business side, the venture side, the whole building projects that could monetize or that actually could become businesses? Like, was there a specific point that you got you interested, or it was just naturally you got attracted to it, or how exactly did you become like a businessman of the technology and sports intersection?
So that was probably a gradual shift. So basically at the very beginning I started as software engineer, then I moved to engineering manager position at my company at that point of time. I started communicating more with business people. Well, started basically my involvement into business decisions as well at that point, and then just well, gradually moved into my own ventures basically, and started applying all that knowledge that I gained.
That's great. That's great, Darius. Let's talk now about the whole fitness ecosystem, the whole the whole industry as it is going on right now. I recently wrote an article in my newsletter. Not sure if you saw it, where I compared how traditional gyms and the whole connected fitness, the whole pelotons and mirrors and tonos, are here to compete against the money of the people that want to be fit and practice and exercise and work out and everything. And then there's also the social fitness element, which is quite related to FitpassU, the platform that you developed for Lithuania, to be able to access different studios and different gyms. So how exactly do you look like? How exactly do you see the differences between those three parts of the fitness industry? What do you see as like the strengths of each one of them, and which one are you most bullish around? Before we get into like the whole technology side, I want to just get your perspective on how the technology is looking like. How has that changed? Tell me your thoughts around those three elements, and if you see any other element that I haven't mentioned, please go ahead.
Yeah, so here probably I see future as a hybrid fitness, and I think that basically people will mix different experiences. So one or 2 days they can go to the gym, then a few times the same week they can use as well online fitness. When they have less time during that day or don't want to commute to the place. So basically, that's probably the future is more like a hybrid here. The probably important thing to mention here that all this connected fitness movement, Tempo, Peloton, and other players, those are actually driving innovation in the space. And I imagine that gyms, social fitness won't go away for sure, because no one will substitute in-person communication communities. But they can actually drive those gyms to innovate, to introduce some maybe interactive training equipment, to introduce some interactive training rooms within those gyms. That might happen, but in general, I see a future as hybrid approach, and actually both will have a market share, online and as well in person, traditional.
And I think that also, I feel like traditional gyms will have to really leverage the activities that you cannot perform at home. For instance, you can't really have a swimming pool at home, right? There's no connected, super small pool that moves around, and that's not gonna happen. Like that's probably very expensive, and it's probably not practical or useful. So, for instance, pools are things that are going to be in gyms. Another example, for instance, bouldering walls. To climb walls. Probably you're not gonna see that in every home or every household, because those are things that you can't really put in every household. So I feel like traditional gyms will eventually shift to experiences that you can't have at home as well, right? I like what you mentioned, like in-person communication and training, and being with a coach and being coached by an expert. That is very, very special and key, and those activities like boxing rings and things that you can't have at home, those are going to be potentially very, very much overutilized and leveraged to bring you out to gyms. But I like how you think about the whole hybrid system of how, one day you might, ride your bike and your peloton at home, and then one other day you're gonna go swimming, and then one other day you're gonna, attend a fitness class with your friends through these social fitness apps like FitpassU. So I like that point a lot, Darius, and I'm looking forward to see how FittyAI, which I want you to talk about it now, is gonna be there. So how about you first explain us what is FittyAI, how the idea came about, and what is it that you guys are currently doing in terms of like the product as of now?
Yeah. So basically, moving from that first part, we also observed that in general, online fitness experiences are still lagging behind a little bit in-person fitness experiences, because, well, in person you can just get that trainer, and trainer will motivate you, will guide you, provide some accountability, guidance. And with online fitness, it's still very often, if we look into those most popular platforms, like let's say, well, Tempo, the same Peloton guide that they will introduce in 2022, those provide tracking, but majority of platforms are still one-way communication platforms. So basically, you just watch online videos, and you try to repeat whatever it's there. And well, we basically want to change that. We want to introduce two-way communication between users, and want to introduce actually possibility for a person to have as well trainer whenever that person does online fitness, the same way as it is with in person now. If you go to the gym, you can get a trainer. He will help you, guide, to not be alone with all the difficulties basically that online fitness brings. Well, in general, fitness that brings, because, well, you can it can lead to injuries. You can drop off and any other things. Basically, those are solely on you in case you don't have any trainer, any guidance. So basically, with FittyAI, both on our personal experience during the outbreak of pandemics with online fitness, and based on well, my exposure into the fitness industry at that point, because I was running already FitpassU. I came actually to the idea that FittyAI needs to transform basically online fitness industry and introduce this two-way communication to all the platforms, and to make this a ubiquitous thing, actually.
I love it, man. And now that you were relating this idea or how it came about, I just thought about really the value of coaches. I don't know for you, but at least for me, like, I seriously, like, whenever I hit the gym, the words of the coach and the guidance and even his face is so present in my head when I am working out, when I'm lifting weights, and quotes that he said, or things that he said to make me remember and execute my exercises better. They're always like replaying in my mind. Like, it's crazy, like how visual, or like how present he stays in your mind. And so I believe that it's so valuable, because you, like, since it's something that you do often, and it's something that you practice to improve your health, right? Whatever you can't measure, you can't improve. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. But the whole idea of how exactly like you improve, those things are like things you remember, right? It's like learning. It's like learning how, new skills, how to, become a better writer or become a better speaker. It's things that you remember to execute while you practice, I believe. So for coaches, at least in my head, they play like this in very, very important role. And I think that you guys are really just being able to distribute that idea of a coach, that it's not only present on the actual gyms, but that you can actually have them while you're practicing at home, and that's why I'm fascinated by it. In terms of technology, right? Because words get thrown around, machine learning, AI software, it could get really complicated for someone to understand like what exactly is going on, right? So I understand that probably there needs to be some type of video recognition or camera that is looking at you while you work out. Would you mind explaining how exactly does it work for maybe those listening that are not experts on technology or that have not a very solid background as yours in software? Would you mind explaining like how exactly does it work in terms of like the logical element, like 1 2 3, like the program looks at you, it runs and then does y? Can you mind do you mind explaining maybe 1 or 2 minutes how exactly does it work?
Yes, sure. So on our site, we focus. We have basically one focus: to develop artificial intelligence powered virtual trainer technology. So then this library is integrated into online fitness platforms, and whenever it is integrated, it just captures using devices video camera how you are performing the exercise. Since that's data to our library processes and outputs basically metrics, engagement like power output in our case, then also evaluates based on knowledge base how are you performing. Maybe you are doing some things incorrectly. Some calculates as well some performance scores. So all of that actually happens under the hood. Speaking about the steps, so yeah, first of all, magic number one step is from video. You just get some coordinates of key body positions, and then step number two, you then do all of the calculations. So basically, just 2 steps.
Yeah, and I feel like, as we were talking about, what you can't measure, you can't improve. So are you continuously collecting data on how this person is performing, or you're not really trying to improve his performance? You're just trying to, well, maybe this is hard to explain, but you're not trying to get him better, but you're just trying to have him not go worse, like to go down on his performance. You know what I'm trying to say? Is this like, I'm not sure if it's clear, but the idea is that I just want you to stay at least on a level that you're not doing it wrong. But I'm not like it's not really necessary that I'm gonna tell you how to become faster or stronger. Not sure if that's the like that's why I want to ask you if that makes sense.
Yes, that definitely makes sense. So first is to avoid doing incorrectly things. So that's plan minimum. Then possible improvements, how actually that person can improve, or maybe how that person can change his hard training routine to that would be better accommodating for that person. That's the next step, and for that one we need permissions to be able to track historical data for a person. So that's basically an additional feature that we can turn on for interested customers, but it's not in this basic set, so to say.
I see, and of course, like for a platform like yours, I'd suppose that um, growing means just partnering up with more and more online fitness platforms. Um, but how do you stand in terms of like how much funding do you see needing yourself for implementing in so many different platforms, or the strategy in your mind to scale this platform? Like if you want to talk about what you guys have been doing to grow and be known in different platforms or different countries, what the strategy has been, and then what the strategy is moving forward.
Yeah, so now we are actually communicating mainly via LinkedIn, maintaining some connections, nurturing connections with online fitness platforms owners there to be able to understand their needs, also their plans regarding their development roadmaps, how they see their future. So basically, by doing so, we have already 3 pilots for 2022 companies that are interested to run. We will continue further that activity in 2022 regarding funding, basically. So, well, up to this point, we got some investments from European Innovation Institute, from University of Edinburgh, that enables us to run now. But naturally, we're looking also for next round, around €500,000 of euros. That's the amount that we're looking for, basically to be able to onboard for long term already first 3 to 5 customers.
And one thing that
So that's
you mentioned a lot, or what I found a lot about FittyAI is that it is really seamless how easy it can be integrated into any platform, right? That is just probably takes 1 or 2 days. You mind talking about how that really gives you an edge against competitors, or how that really marks a difference between how people out there or companies out there, maybe someone listening has a platform online and is providing online fitness classes and is thinking about you guys, why that is a very important thing that he should remember and know, that is just as seamless as possible, and that it's not going to require much of a mental hassle for him, for those founders.
Yeah, so from the integration perspective, we basically want to take all the hassle on ourselves here. So that's why our API is the simplest possible, and just keeps a few things like start training, and that's it, and tracking starts. So we do all the rest. All this magic happens on our side. And then we also provide some basic tools that our customers can use to communicate with their end users. So, for example, voice module for feedback communication. That's one thing that can enable this seamless integration. Yeah, naturally, in case customer wants something more sophisticated, yeah, then that might take longer. But in most of the cases, we provide everything that's needed.
That's great. I mean, I feel like that's a really great advantage. And I'm curious, like, what have been like some of the like pushback reasons or motives that, say, investors or other founders or other companies have come to you and said, or things that they say that it worries them about your platform and about the project, that you want to maybe explain to them here, so that they don't come and ask you 100 times. You can be like, yo, go listen to the halftime snacks, I explained that over there. So what are some of the like pushback reasons or worries that founders or investors have about your platform, but that they shouldn't really worry?
Well, basically, probably we are coming. That's the main thing to mention here. That we have foundations to add new exercises quickly. And one also common thing maybe was that is just pose estimation. and it can be done just using some open source libraries. Here I can just say that all the things that we are doing and developing here are on top of that simple pose estimation. So basically, all virtual trainer functionality, that's something extra actually.
Yeah, and I will also say that, I mean, in my mind, many people might not be believing that the whole hybrid model of connected fitness and traditional gyms and social fitness is going to happen. But I would say that, you know, they mostly have to believe that it will, mostly because also the pandemic influenced how we work out, how we interact with each other, how we, you know, are present in some social interactions. So I believe that it will stay. But yeah, do you have any other maybe?
Yes, and also I can add here that, well, on our side, we firmly believe that in 3 to 5 years, online fitness platforms to stay competitive, they will need this two-way communication, because that will be a common thing actually among platforms. And now maybe by some of the platforms it is seemed like extra premium feature. But in 3 to 5 years, probably that experience with online fitness will be a lot better for end users, and that will be just a basic thing, basically.
I love it. I love it. I agree with you 100%, and I see it happening. Probably I already see it now with the so many different like platforms. Like there's already Fitness Plus on Apple, which it connects to your Apple Watch and to your phone. So you're watching classes and you're getting personalized feedback at the same time. So it's already happening. It's already here. We're not talking about the future. We're talking about the present, or maybe even the past. Maybe this is already something that is in the past. So if you're a online fitness platform provider that you don't have FittyAI, you're already in the past, So there you go. Make sure you reach out to Darius for more information about this product, more information about how you can implement it on your platform. Darius, man, this has been so fun, and we've learned so much about you. The Halftime Snacks is also a place where we, get to know the founders and the people driving the industry more closely. So the personal question that I prepared for you is, what's the best advice that someone has ever given to you in your life?
So probably the best thing is to not worry about others, what others will think about you. Just go ahead, try and be focused on your thing.
Thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the subscribe button and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. If you enjoy learning about the business and technology behind sports, make sure you subscribe to the Sports Tech Biz newsletter. I'll leave the link in the show notes. See you all next week. Bye-bye.